Hello, my friends. Do you have an abundance mindset? That is our topic for this evening. And welcome all of you. I'll just give you a little bit of time to come onto the call. And I am Pragito from discovermeditation.com. And tonight we're going to be talking about, do you have an abundance mindset? So, first of all, what is abundance? To a lot of people, they immediately think of money and whether they have a lot of money or they don't have a lot of money. And unfortunately, what they do is focus on what they don't have. So that is the whole wrong way to go about it. Because in order to have an abundance mindset, you have to understand that abundance is who you are. You are an abundant being in an abundant universe. That is the essential truth of who you are. And what happens with the mind is the mind has a tendency to look at the negative. So it will start looking at what you don't have instead of what you do have. So that's the first thing you have to change, is look at what you do have. Not just with money, but with love, but with health and fitness, with your career, your creativity, your children, all your relationships. Because abundance is all of these things. It isn't just about money, and more specifically what you don't have in terms of money. So you have to, like, a horse with those blinkers, you have to take the blinkers off and look at the big picture and keep reminding yourself of what you have. And also remind yourself and say out loud, I am an abundant being in an abundant universe. Because all of us are. Now, what's happened that so many of you don't believe that, or don't seem to know that, or are living in a mindset of fear, lack, and scarcity, as if there isn't enough love, there isn't enough money, there isn't enough time, there isn't enough. And it creates illness and disease in the body, and it creates suffering and unhappiness. And that's all from the mind. So understand that you have a choice. You don't have to be ruled by what your mind is saying. You have a choice to decide how you want to feel and how you want to be in this life. And if you want to be abundant, which you already are, by the way, but if you want to really own that, then the first thing you have to do is drop out of the mind and connect with your heart and your soul. Because your soul knows this. And those of you watching me now, your soul knows this, what I'm saying. This isn't news for your soul. You all have a soul. So just take a moment and breathe. And allow yourself to drop deeper down inside and breathe and relax. You're just listening to me right now. So you can relax and take some deep breaths and drop down inside. And when you do this, as you are doing it right now, what happens is you start to drop down into your heart, the wisdom of your heart, Connect with your soul, the wisdom of your soul. And you remember, or you start to remember, who you are. You're a spirit in a body, here for a certain amount of time, in this body with this life that you have. And you can allow the mind to interfere with negative thoughts or not. Or you can keep yourself in a positive mindset and fill your life with love, giving and receiving of love. Because love is abundance. See, abundance is a feeling. It's not whatever your bank account says is in there. Abundance is a feeling state. You know how some people sometimes say, hey, I feel like $1 million. Now, they don't literally mean they've got $1 million in their bank account, although they might have, but quite likely they don't have. But they feel like $1 million. And I think most people know that expression. And it's interesting that that expression has arisen in our culture. Because you can say, I feel like $1 million when you've just been out on a first date with somebody that went really well. Or you just got a job promotion. Or your kid just got into a college. All kinds of reasons for you to feel like $1 million. But here's the key. When you are in the feeling state of abundance, the law of attraction sends you that back. So the more you can keep yourself in that feeling state of abundance, the more you will attract abundance. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. On the positive side. Now, what you have to watch out for is the negative side of this, when fear and doubt creep in. And that's the mind. Fear and doubt have an effect of closing us off to our heart and soul, and closing off our connection to the divine, closing off our connection to our feeling state of abundance. And we go into a fear-like and scarcity feeling state. So then guess what we attract? More of the same. Law of attraction states like attracts like. So if we are in a state of fear, feeling a lot of lack, then that's what we'll get more of. Now, you have a choice. You can stay in that, or you can take a different perception of your life and look at what you have. Your health, your children, your loved ones. There's always, always, always something in your life to be thankful for that you have. There's always something. Focus on what you have, because that will help you attract more and more abundance of love, of money, and health and fitness. So this is an important shift, because it's really in the mindset that you can change things for yourself. I remember when I was younger, I was always complaining about how my life was. So guess what my life was like? Yes, not that great. Because I was always looking at the negative. I was always looking at what I didn't have. And the moment I made the shift to looking at what I did have, which was actually a lot. When I looked at it, I made a list, and you can do this. Make a list of what you have that is great in your life. And look at it, read it every day. Especially if you feel yourself start sinking into that I don't have anything mindset, to bring yourself out of it. Look at what you have. And you will be amazed. I was amazed, at how I'd been looking sort of like that. I had the blinkers on again, and I took them off. And then everything opened up and became quite miraculous. And amazing things started to happen. Amazing financial things, amazing relationship things, and my health and fitness too. Because I changed my attitude. I changed my mindset. I changed my thinking. And now look, it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. Don't write to me and say, oh, well, I changed my mindset, and 10 minutes later, nothing's changed. You have to be consistent with it every day and just stay in that positive feeling. Because remember, abundance is a feeling. It is not a thought. It's not what's in your bank account. It's a feeling state. And when you remember this, get into that feeling state of abundance, you are in the highest vibrational set point there is for positive attraction. To attract positive things to you. Miracles can happen in that vibrational state. Try it. If you don't believe me, try it. Because it will turn everything around for you. It did for me. And you have to remember, because if you've been in the habit of always looking at what you don't have, it might take you a while to cultivate the new habit of looking at what you do have. But that's okay. They say it takes 21 days for a new habit to then become a habit. So you might have to work at it a bit for the first 21 days, but I think it's worth it, don't you? For what lies in store for you, which is abundance on every level. Now, I do want to talk here now about judgment, because judgment is the #1 cause of suffering in the world. And again, judgment, it comes from the mind. And what happens is, let's say you have a lot of money come to you, an unexpected inheritance, or you get a promotion at your job, or you get a big new client, or some miraculous way a lot of money comes to you, but then you judge it. You judge it, and you say to yourself things like, oh, well, I don't really deserve it. The other guy should have got the job, or I don't really want to get money as an inheritance. I want to earn my money, and things like that kind of thinking. And that will send the money away. It really will. You will lose it somehow or another. and you'll be back where you started in your fear, lack, and scarcity mindset. So you have to be very vigilant of the mind coming in with judgments when the money does start to come in, when the love, the great relationships, or your health and fitness starts to improve, when all these good things are coming, you have to be able to receive them. And that could bring up feelings of unworthiness and feeling undeserving. Like, I don't really deserve this. I'm not worthy. Because maybe somewhere way back, you were told that you were not worthy of good things, that you were not worth having good things in your life. So you might have to do a little bit of self-inquiry there to see if you have any beliefs, feelings of unworthiness lurking around in your subconscious that are blocking you bringing in more abundance into your life, more love, more money, more good physical health and fitness things happening. So you might have to do a little bit of self-inquiry there. Have a look and see what your receiving level is, because receiving is very much a part of abundance. To really live an abundant life, you have to be able to receive all the bounty that the universe is just dying to shower upon you. So practice this with both palms up like this. This is the posture of receiving. So sit like that with your palms up. Try and remember to be in the posture of receiving, because that way you are indicating to the universe that you are ready to receive. And always remember to breathe. I've done this journey too. And there was a time when I wasn't able to receive very much, and I would judge myself thinking I wasn't good enough to receive what people were giving me. Somebody once, when I was younger, gave me a car. It was a brand new Audi. And they just gave me this car. And you know what? I couldn't receive it. What happened was it got totaled in a crash. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. The car was totaled. And what happened was that I went into a state of fear because I didn't think I was worthy of receiving that car. And so I created that it was totaled, and the car was gone. Now that wouldn't happen now. If anybody wants to give me a car, I am very open to receiving a car. But I learned from that I didn't have a very good capacity to receive, because I'd been living in that fear, lack, and scarcity programming for so long that when this person gave me this Audi, it was a beautiful car, brand new Audi, I couldn't believe that they would want to give it to me. Such an incredible gift. I'd never been given a gift like that. So that's how I learned that lesson. So you see, this is what can happen when you open yourself up. Somebody just unexpectedly might give you a car. You just don't know what can happen. I certainly didn't expect that. So be aware of the mindset. Be aware to be connected to your soul. Your soul knows you're an abundant being living in an abundant universe. and be vigilant of the mind going into fear, lack, and scarcity programming, or getting into judgment. And included in judgment is guilt. Feeling guilty for having things when other people don't have things. But the good news is the more you can have, the more you have to give others. I'm sure you know that saying, fill up your own well first. You cannot give from a well that is running on empty. You will just get more and more depleted and resentful. So you have to fill up your own well first, which means you have to put yourself as a priority and love yourself and take care of yourself in every way you know how, and more. Because then you'll be full to overflowing, and then you can give from your overflow. You know, there's also that saying on airlines, put on your own oxygen mask first, right? You can't help anybody else if you aren't getting any oxygen. So we can't really help others if we are not filled up ourselves. So it's very, very important that we fill ourselves up. That you have an abundance mindset which helps you attract more and more abundance. And then instead of being in the fear, lack, and scarcity mindset with full of judgment and suffering, being in the abundance mindset, you will be a blessing on this earth. And you will be able to help many, many people and help them change their mindset. Show them this video. Help others change their mindset so that we can have a world full of people living in an abundance of love, an abundance of peace, and an abundance of joy, an abundance of money, an abundance of health and fitness. Because it is totally possible. You just have to understand how to do it, how to get that abundant mindset. All right, my friends. As always, I immensely enjoy talking to you, and I wish you an abundant, joy-filled, love-filled life. I will talk to you again soon. This is Brigitte from discovermeditation.com. See you soon.